Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is another in the interview series where I basically talk to different comic collectors and sometimes artists and people who also make comics. So this is one of those weird cases where it's a bit of both. He's a really awesome collector. Actually, I knew him as a collector because he has this really awesome Instagram channel. He followed me and he always asks me some question each week. So I checked out his Instagram. He has a pretty amazing collection on Instagram. I'll link it in the description. But he also, I've learned, has created some of his own books where he did both the art and the story writing. So that's kind of impressive. So I'm going to bring him in. It's Maarten Bouw. And let me just bring you in. There we go. So,
Hi, Alan.
hi.
You got my name right, so it's all good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's like it's spelled totally wrong. Like I was hoping to correct you and teach you how to spell your name, but I'll forgive you. Okay, so yeah, so Maarten Bouw. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into collecting comics or
Yeah, so I'm down in Melbourne, Australia, and I've always been reading and always been reading comic books. I started in the 90s, so this was before the internet, and comics were really the only form of entertainment we had, especially down here in Melbourne. Actually, I've got one of the first books that's
that's an interesting one.
yeah, my papa bought it for me from this tiny little comic book shop that I went to for decades. It's since closed down, but yeah, that was the first book I ever got, and just loved the look of it. It really,
Yeah, it's a cool cover. Is
yeah,
that like an Australian edition or?
no, I don't think so.
Imagine.
No, there's a few Australian editions here, but the next one I'll show you is an Australian edition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that was the first one, and
Wait. I'll make you big so you can show
oh
this
yeah,
better. One
it's all
sec
fine.
here. There you go.
Okay, so this is obviously Fantastic Four. It's the Australian variant, and this is what I used to use back in the 90s to learn how to draw. So I was always fascinated with Paul Ryan's artwork. His style really captured just a whole lot of action and pace, and just it really really grabbed me. So yeah. On my free time, I would use this and I would try and copy the pictures. But yeah, that's it.
So does that mean all of your characters now have really long arms?
Yeah, they're all out of proportion.
Really weird proportions. Okay.
And then, yeah, being born in the 80s, obviously a big Turtles fan.
Oh wow.
So I was lucky enough to get the entire run of this series probably about 15 years ago. Yeah, just lucked out on eBay, and yeah.
So you have number one all the way up?
Number one all the way through to 72 of the
Nice.
Archie series, and yeah, I've got the current series, and sprinklings of this here and there. So.
Okay, cool. Did you ever think of getting the first series?
I've got a few, but this has kind of taken up my reading habits.
Okay, that's fine.
I gravitate to things that I like the covers, or
Yeah. I'm a cover buyer too, so
yeah,
that's my thing.
And being that in mind,
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, just iconic.
Yeah, I think
sorry.
to me that's like such a great cover. Like I love that one. It reminds me of Planet of the Apes.
It does, yes. And actually, if you can see behind me, where's my camera?
Oh wow, I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan. Like I love the whole original series. Of movies. They were really great.
Yeah.
And
They
Beneath the
certainly
Planet
were.
of the Apes is really cool. Like it's like where they meet the like that cult of like people that worship the atomic bomb. I think it's such a great movie. Okay.
So this is one of my older books.
Oh
So it's
wow.
Marvel Tales
Marvel Tales.
138. It's an atlas. You can see up here maybe if I put it close enough. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty banged up, pretty raw. But yeah, I found that while going through. I don't know if you mentioned I've got over 20,000 books, so
Wow.
there was a lot to go through last night when I was trying to find some interesting things. I've also got Hawk and Dove, the first issue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just I always liked Hawk and Dove, but they didn't really take
They didn't
off.
really do well, but yeah, it was a cool series.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept. Now I've got the last issue of the Jack Kirby Silver Surfer run. I'm big on last issues. Whenever I find that there's a series that's going to end, I always pick up the last issue.
Yeah, I actually like last issues and first issues. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like I always see it as like bookends, like getting
Yeah,
the bookends for the for the series. You got to get that first issue and get the last issue.
yeah,
And usually the last issues are
sorry.
actually pretty expensive. Usually the
Yeah.
last issues are pretty expensive.
Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah, actually, I picked up the last issue of the '90s Lobo series. I was able to get
Oh,
that.
really?
I haven't read it yet because it just arrived during the week.
Oh, that's cool.
Also got
Oh,
not
nice.
not the first appearance of Black Adam, but his reintroduction into the DC universe.
That's really cool. I did a cover challenge on my channel like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
By the time this airs, that was one of the covers I wanted to put on my list. That I was actually thinking, oh, I should really put that cover on the list because it's the first time that you actually see the Black Adam on the cover.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of cool. It's like first appearance cover.
That would be an interesting challenge.
Yeah. So recommend people check out my Friday challenges. There's some cool stuff there. Okay.
It sounds it. Yeah, so I've also got Moon Knight #1. I've actually got 2 copies of this just by kind of accident. But yeah, it was a fun read.
Yeah, that was a hot book for a while there.
It was, yeah. Also got Red Sonja.
Red Sonja, yeah. Another one. I love Red Sonja.
Yeah, got a fair whack of Red Sonja. Got the Toys R Us variant for Mr. Freeze or Mr. Zero.
That's cool.
Yeah, I tried to get the original, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I had the original, so.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm a big Alpha Flight fan, so had to get the first appearance. I've also got the one where they were just a cameo.
Yeah, I forget what issue that is, but it's like I think it's a prior issue, maybe.
Yeah, it's 120. That's but couldn't find it in the file. So, but yeah, I've also got
another book that's going through the roof right now.
Yeah, I bought it about a year ago, and just looking at the prices now.
Oh, one sec, wait.
Yep. No
you just keep showing stuff. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. Picked up the first Hellboy, which, to be honest, isn't the greatest read, but the Hellboy pages, they really pop. Now, what I've got here is the prototype of Sergeant Rock. So he's not referred to as Sergeant Rock. He's referred to as, I think, Joe. So Joseph Rock. No, that was a fun read. But I think I'm a bit biased because I like the war books. And don't know if you're familiar with the
the Thunder Agents. I have that book. That's a great one. Was it you that recommended that to me?
I don't think so.
Somebody in my channel recommended that one to me. That's
it was really
great,
fun.
Great series, yeah.
Yeah, I want to get the entire run of that.
Yeah, so. I actually picked it up as a set, like the run. Like,
Oh, okay. That's very cool.
yeah,
I've got maybe a handful so far,
yeah.
so I'm getting there. So what I
Oh
got here,
wow.
Rex the Wonder Dog. Now I didn't buy it for Rex. This is issue 6, and in issue four was the first appearance of Detective Chimp.
Yeah, that's the one I'm hunting for.
Yeah, me too.
I can't find it. It's hard to get.
I
I
found a remanded copy, but it sold for about like $1,000.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, this was a fun read if you're a Detective Chimp fan.
Yeah.
And then Showcase 31 with Aquaman. Now,
Nice. That's one of
in
the early Aquaman title, like where he's actually in the title. I think that's
yeah,
the third. I think it's 28 is the first. Is it
hmm
28? I believe.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was only in it for about 3 or 4 issues in
Yeah.
the showcase.
Yeah.
But I should have done this in the other room. I've got a huge Aquaman toy collection.
Oh, nice.
Um, Now, I thought you might get a kick out of this.
Oh, wow. Is it it's sort of bondagey or what is it?
It's a little bit. So I'll spoil it for you. They end up in the bottom of the ocean and they can't escape because they're all tangled up.
Oh, cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just the sexy girl on the cover.
Sexy girl on the cover, I like.
Yeah, it's an
Can't go
instant
wrong
buy.
with that.
Yeah. Now, Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. It's a short-run Archie series.
Yeah, I
It's
know
an,
it actually. It's good.
yeah. As you can see, it's from my comic shop.
Yeah. So
Um,
how is it sending stuff to Australia from my comic shop?
if you pay for adequate postage, there's no problem. If you pay for the cheap postage, there's problems.
Oh, yeah, where it gets lost?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
It
had
just
that happen to me,
yeah.
actually.
It's yeah. I'm just. That's a story for another day. But
But actually,
boy.
just so you know, like if they ever lose something, they
Mhm.
will compensate you. They'll
Oh
refund your
yeah,
credit
yeah.
card. Yeah, they're
Oh
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
about that. But
Yeah, I can't fault my comic shop. They're perfect. It's just the postage is just frustrating.
okay, is it as bad as Canada Post, or is it like
No, it's pretty bad. So it gets
terrible?
sent to Singapore, and they put the custom label over your address,
Okay.
so the guys in Singapore don't know where it's going to.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, and it's just frustrating. Why would you put a sticker over the address?
So your comics are in China somewhere or some random place or
There's a few that have just gone. Phew, I've got no idea where they are. Um,
wow.
but I've been able to get them from Singapore because I've been able to get the tracking numbers. So eventually I can get them.
Oh, okay, that's good. I
Yeah,
mean, the fact that you can actually track them down a bit and find them, that's
yeah.
something.
There's
So why do
maybe
they put the custom labels in Singapore?
I think it's for cost. So it goes from Texas to California, then over to Singapore, and then
Hmm.
down to Sydney, and then down to Melbourne.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so,
Bit
yeah.
of a journey.
They said because you use the economy, we do it the cheap option, which is you get what you pay for. So
Okay.
yeah.
And do they deliver it by kangaroo or
Well, yeah.
no?
Well,
A little
they
pouch?
do throw it.
Yeah, yeah.
They hop out of their van and they throw it.
Whenever I did these interviews with Americans, they'd always make fun of me being Canada. So I feel like there's a pecking order. So so that's so just don't mind me every so often. Okay, I like to.
It's all fun. I was in Canada about 25 years ago, and
Okay,
I was in the airport and someone made an Australian joke. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Australia's cool. It's like yeah,
yeah, I just had a laugh. I had a laugh.
yeah.
Okay, so what we've got here is She's Josie number
Oh
9,
wow,
and I
nice.
got this for a song. The girl or the lady didn't know what it was. She just said it was an old comic book, and I knew what it was. It's got a bit of a tear here,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, she sold it to me, and I was happy to get it. So
I'm a big Josie and the Pussycats fan, so I picked up She's Josie number 1,
oh,
and and then I picked up I think is it 42 where it's Josie and the Pussycats.
It's around there, yeah.
Yeah, I picked up that one where they first show the change of the title, and then I get the first appearance of the so I got all the key issues for Josie. She's Josie.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I really liked the movie way back when. Strangely.
Oh yeah, I still listen to the soundtrack. So,
Yeah.
so what I have here is
Oh wow.
Laugh 166. It's the Beatles cover.
Oh nice. Yeah. I know that one.
So yeah, the first time the Beatles were on a comic book cover. They're not actually in the book, which is
Oh
surprising.
really?
Yeah, so I got it just for the cover.
I think it's interesting that like the father is thinking Beatles, like and then I think
Yeah,
that's pretty cute.
yeah,
That's a really cute cover.
yeah. It was fun. Now I've got here
Oh my
Jetta.
goodness, Jetta.
Yeah,
Wow,
I think this is
that's
number 5,
that's a big book.
number 7. This is the last issue.
That's a really great. I like Jetta. I've been trying to pick up the various. I have one issue out of the run.
Yeah, this
The
is the only
robot.
one I have. I've
Yeah, I
still
have
got
the
to get.
robot one.
Yeah, I've got to get 5 and 6. I think 5 is the robot one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
yeah,
that's a
quite
great cover too.
expensive. Yeah, and lots of fun. I've got the hardcover that came out a few years back, which is out of print,
Mhm.
and that
Lots of
was
good girl art
that
in
was
that. That's just really
yeah.
great.
So I've got a couple of old Supermans. Superboy number 98, the first appearance of Ultra Boy.
Hmm.
Just always liked Ultra Boy. Liked the idea that he could only use one of his powers one at a time.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was his first appearance. I'll probably have to find that one now.
Yeah. So again, it was from my comic shop, and it wasn't too bad in terms of price.
Yeah, usually something with DC keys are so undervalued. It's,
Yeah, you're right. Last year, I got a whole run of DC keys, and I'm actually going to show a few of them off.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was just really surprised that, like this one, like the first appearance of General
Oh yeah.
Zod.
Now that's actually an expensive book, but you can sometimes find it cheap.
I found it relatively cheap. I
Yeah.
think it's banged up a little bit, so it's a .05 condition. So
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I think the cover comes off.
Yeah, it looks like the spine is split.
Yeah. So, but I have it and I wanted it, and it was
Yeah.
a great read. Now, this is one that I really wanted. The
Oh,
first appearance
Parasite.
of the Parasite. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun read. Got a big kick out of reading that.
That's really cool.
Now, I don't buy for like perspectives, like if the character's going to be in a movie or a TV show.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
no interest in doing it. I only read them because I want to read them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Do
just
you ever buy slabs?
I
Do you
bought
like
one
slabs?
slab. I bought one slab once just by accident, and then I cracked it pretty quick.
Oh, really? So you're one of those more traditional collectors. So this is kind of interesting because if you look behind me, there's all these slab things. So you probably wouldn't like that.
Oh no! I certainly appreciate them.
Mhm.
I think I would get them slabbed, but I'd want to read them first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever read anything online or like read books
No,
online?
no,
Oh,
I
that's
don't.
interesting.
No,
That's so you're more of a traditionalist. You
I'm a
gotta
traditionalist. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I respect it. It's everyone does it differently, right?
Oh yeah, and you can't fault if someone wants to read it a particular way.
Yeah.
It's however you want to enjoy them.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep. I'll let you show us some more.
Yeah.
I
So
love that cover. That is
yeah.
one of the craziest covers with Superman.
Now this was a hard book to track down. Surprisingly, I wonder
Yeah,
why.
yeah, it's such a great one. I have it too. It's like I love it.
Yeah. That was again another fun read.
Dominatrix.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got Brave and the
Oh,
Bold.
nice.
What issue? It's upside down. Number 34. So
Yeah,
the first
Silver
appearance.
Silver Age.
Yeah, the first Silver Age of Hawkman and Hawkgirl,
Mhm.
and done by Joe Kubert, and yeah, just a lot of fun. Set in a museum, and they can grab whatever weapon they want out of the museum to solve the problem that they've got.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really upgraded their powers in the Silver Age. Like in the Golden Age, they were a little bit not really that powerful, but in the Silver Age, they became like kind of more almost godlike.
Yeah. A few more to go. So we've got X-Men number 10. First appearance of Gazar.
First Silver Age appearance, actually.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you.
No, it's all fine. Now you can see there's a big tear here, and it runs through most of the book. So a little bit demoralizing, but I'm happy to have it. No matter the condition, I prefer to have it than not have it. Let's just say.
Yeah, that's the same as me. I have lots of 0.5s and 1s and stuff like that, just because I love the books and just want them in my collection. So I totally can respect that. So don't worry.
So again,
nice.
Yes. I picked up most of this run from someone who was just selling a whole lot. I think he was selling his dad's collection. His dad was just wanted to get rid of them all, and got that.
That's a really great book.
And that was boy, what a read.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a good one.
I'm big on the horror comics, so that was up there. But
nice.
Swamp Thing I think it's number 9. Yeah, number 9. Just an iconic cover.
Yeah. All the Bernie Wrightson ones are just amazing.
Yeah, I don't have that many of them, but everyone is just gold.
Yeah.
So we've got.
Oh, nice.
Well, by number 1, I've got most of this run. I've got the key issues of the run. So, pick this up, and again, it was just a thrill to read. Just when you get a book like that, and then you're reading it, and you can't believe you're reading it. You can't believe you're holding on to it.
Yeah, no, that's
the feeling I had when I read that.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool book. I actually enjoyed that series. I actually just recently read it, strangely enough, maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of petered out towards the end, but
I only read the first few issues, I should say.
They're the best.
And then the key one, like I read 32, and I read the first few issues in the series,
Yeah. Actually, I'll mix this around then. There we go.
Oh, okay. So wow. My friend Mark would really love that. That's the Pence copy.
I noticed that last night when I was looking through them all. I was like,
that is really rare.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just found it in my travels, and I went, stuff it. I'll just get it.
So I'm not sure if you know this, but there's always the U.S. edition, right? And then the Canadian edition is kind of like the next best thing, right? Or magazine, newsstand versus direct, and all that kind of stuff. But so U.S. versus Canadian, it's 1/10. Okay.
Yep.
U.S. versus U.K., it's 1/100th.
Okay. Wow.
So the UK, there's just not many on the census. They're really rare. Really rare.
Wow.
Totally underrated. You can usually get them slightly cheaper than the American ones.
Yeah.
But that's changing. People are saying, "Oh, wait, these are actually quite rare." now it's going the other way around, where they're commanding a bit more money.
Well, here in Australia, we had they're called Murray comics or Federal comics, and they're just black and white reprints, and they are extremely rare. You're looking at $500, $1,000.
Oh, wow.
I've got a few, but I never enjoyed reading them because they were black and white. And I don't
like the black and white ones too. We had the same in Canada. Like during the 40s, we had the thing called Canadian Whites. And it's on the crappiest paper, and the black and white. Even the covers are barely are all two-tone. It's like Like we make crap comics in Canada, so and they're
Well,
just incredibly rare as a result. Like there's maybe one on the census for certain books,
I think that's something that Australia and Canada got in common.
Yeah.
Crappy comic editions.
Crappy comic editions. Wait, I'm gonna put you big again here.
Yeah, it's all good. So, Tomb of Dracula #2.
Nice.
Now, I simply cannot afford #1. So when you can't get #1, you get #2.
Yeah, I paid $2 for #1.
Oh man.
But it's beat up, but I bought it way back in the 90s.
Well, this is beat up. The cover comes off, so but it's all fine. I did buy a coverless copy of Justice League #1.
Oh, that's cool.
But I couldn't find it. I was searching through. All my stuff is kind of out of order. I wish I had it to show you, but yeah, a coverless copy. And then
oh, nice, another one. That's cool.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 101. 101. Yeah, and as you can see, pretty banged up. But I've got it. I wanted to read it, and enjoyed it. So then we got Dracula
another
10.
Great one.
Yeah, that was another time when I was just shaking reading the book.
I know that's a like I was a big fan of the Wesley Snipes movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, me too.
When I got back into collecting comics in like around 2018, that was one of the first books that I wanted to get.
How long did it take you to get it?
It took me about a year to get.
Okay.
But that was like I had like a list. These are the big issues. These are the big ones I want to get, and that was one of them. Like first Blade, first Werewolf, not Werewolf by Night. First, what's it called?
Ghost Rider.
Moon Knight. Moon Knight.
Yeah.
All those kind of key books, and so that was one of the ones I really wanted on my list. I was so excited when I got that book.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
Okay, I've got just a handful more left.
That's another big one.
Yeah, that was fun to receive. That was from my comic shop, and I remember when it arrived. I was just I had to take the rest of the day off, I think. Yeah, I was done. Now that is all the books that I've read. I've got a few here which I'm actually yet to read.
Okay.
But I wanted to show them off because I thought you'd get a bit of a kick out of them. Now, I don't know how you feel about romance comics, but
I like the covers.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I think some of the covers are kind of fun and a little bit campy. I like that.
Yeah, that obviously that's why I bought this cover.
Yeah. There's something about it, like something gets my attention. I'm not sure. Something about it.
Now, you were talking the other day about women in red outfits.
Yeah, in the red dress.
So.
Oh, nice.
You can't see the full red dress, but yeah, there's a lady in red.
Nice. That's cool.
And yeah, I've got.
Is that Golden Age? That looks Golden Age. It looks like Lee Elias. Is that a Lee Elias cover?
It was this came out in 1949, so it was the 50s.
Yeah, what's the name in the corner, like in the bottom corner? Is it Lee Elias?
Lee Elms.
Lee Elms.
Let's see if I can.
Can you make it so I can see it? Oh yeah. Oh, go that way a bit more.
There we go.
Yeah, it's Lee Elias.
Lee Elias. Oh, okay.
It is.
It is. Yeah, Lee Elias. The I
and
and
the
the
A
looks like an M.
So yeah,
Lee Elms.
I actually know stuff. He did a lot of romance covers. Just so you know.
He does good work.
Yeah, he's a pretty great artist, actually.
So I've got number 48 of Black Cat Mystery. Wow. And very, very banged up. It's the only Black Cat Mystery I own, though. And found it for a good price. I wanted it and got it.
Picked it up. Cool. I mean, that's a great pickup. Like anything from that run is just fire. Like it's just so amazing to get, actually.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't mind what condition it was in.
Yeah, yeah,
It could have had half the cover cut off.
yeah. No, it's a
Just
great
to
book.
have it,
Yeah, that
is a
golden
boon.
age horror is just amazing.
Now I've got
Oh, nice.
Batman
Two fifty one.
251. Yeah, from with Neil Adams. Now I bought this from like an op shop here in Australia. It's like an op shop franchise, and got it for a good price because I think they dropped a decimal point off.
Oh no.
So I don't want to say how much it was, but yeah, it was considerably less than what it should have been.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I looked at it and I will read it soon. But yeah, so 2 more books to go, and then I've got my own books to show, and then I think we're done.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh well, I'll ask you about your books. So don't just show them. Let me ask about it. Okay.
Yep, sounds good. So Fantastic Four number 50.
Oh, nice. I always like that cover. A lot of people say that they don't like the cover because of the brown. I actually always like that cover.
Yeah, I can see that it might be a little bit on the side, but it's dynamic and it's curvy artwork.
No, it's really great. Like it's the first time you really get to see Silver Surfer like big and like full on. Like it's a great cover.
Yeah, yeah. I bought number 51 from my comic shop, and that was one of the ones that got lost and has remained lost.
Oh, that's sad.
So I'm kicking myself because of that. I'm gonna have to track down the issue and get it again. But yeah, so the last issue is just a recent buy.
Oh, nice.
It's the first appearance of the Watcher, Fantastic Four number 13. Again, I haven't read it yet. I've got a whole stack of books in the bedroom, just piles and piles of just all these comic books to get through. And yeah, this is one of them. But it's an iconic cover, and yeah.
That's actually the next issue that I have to read. I've been sort of trying to catch up on my comic book reading.
Yep.
And I've read the first like 11 issues of Fantastic Four, and that's the next one I have to read. But yeah, no, that's a great one. Big fan of the Watcher, actually. I like that whole idea of him just sort of watching and not interfering, but just watching and
it's a cool sci-fi concept. So
yeah. It's almost like the perfect narrator, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so what I do is on my Instagram account, whatever I read the day before, I will take a photo of and I'll put them up. So it's a mixture of just from the golden age to the modern age. I give a little bit of a brief rundown about what I think. Obviously, I'm more interested in the older stuff. The newer stuff kind of irks me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you probably know that about me as well. That I get annoyed by.
That's why I love watching your channel. You bring out some really good stuff.
So yeah, so I wanted to ask you, without you showing it already, like there's, I know you're a collector. You actually seem to collect very similar stuff to what I collect. Maybe not as many of the good girl as I do, but
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. But you actually did some of your own books, and that to me is really cool. But I kind of want to know a little bit of the story behind your own books, and I want you to show your own books. So, like, how did you get into actually doing the books, and then tell me that story.
So, would have been 2010. I was newly married. I had one son at the time. I think I've got 2 sons and a daughter, but I had one son, and I was working for an insurance company, and all I was doing was working and then coming home and being a dad. Like, I've always wanted to be a comic book writer or artist. It's just always what I wanted to do. And I thought the only way I'm going to be able to do it is if I do my own books. And so I started doing this little a little sketch, like a little comic strip about a drawn out dad. and
From your own experiences, kind of thing.
from my experience, yeah. And so it was a lot of like mother-in-law jokes and that kind of thing. But from that, I created a book. I don't have it here, but it came out in 2013, and it's about this. There's a myth that in the mountains over here in Melbourne, there's a panther that's been on the wild, and so it's a story about a guy who's trying to hunt this panther, and yeah, I had a bit of success with that, and then my sons said, "Dad, you should do a kids book." So
wait, I'll make it big.
Yep, no worries. So this is Fart Puppies. It's everything you think it could be.
So they have the power of farts? Is that the way it works? Or?
Yeah, they can't stop farting, and it's just gross humor. But my twin brother and I, we sell them at conventions just around Australia, and there's a lot of kids that go to these conventions, and there's not a lot of books for them at the moment, especially here in Melbourne.
That's a real problem with comics in general. There's just not much for kids. It's
they for me, it was always Disney books, and then from there was superhero books. So the parents get a kick out of this. They're happy to buy this for their kids.
So I mean, do you distribute those outside of Australia, or?
Yeah. So I have there's a website called Own an Indie. I'll send you the link later on.
Yeah. So when I write up the description, can you send me all the links like that I can put in? Like I'll email you, and then you can send me all that, and we'll put it in the description, because I think people should check out your books and give me all the links to where they can potentially buy those books.
It's all on one side, and certainly check it out. We can post them out to you. We've got I think like 30 or 40 books at the moment.
Wow.
This is one that there's 10 different issues of Fart Puppies.
Oh wow.
I don't know how we got 10 stories out of puppies that like to fart, but we got there. Now, this is a book that my brother does. It's about a magical cat in London. So it's all about magic and whimsy and big spiders. I remember there's one that's got this big spider on the cover.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's not the only kind of things we do. We do a mixture of different kind of books. And I was showing you this before. On my holidays, I kill celebrities. So it's about a guy who's obsessed with celebrity death. And for a little while, I was kind of obsessed with it. And what more so was, whenever I was on holidays from work, a major celebrity would die.
Oh, wow.
And I was on my honeymoon, and Heath Ledger passed away. And I remember telling my wife, she came into the room and said, "Oh, Heath Ledger passed away." And he's like, oh my God. And I'd go into work, and people would tell a joke like, "Oh, yeah, you're going to go on holidays. Who's going to die next?" I created.
People go on holidays for a while, and so that Hollywood can live, maybe, or actually, go on holidays. Can you control it, where you can
I wish I could.
Which celebrity dies based on your holidays? Or?
Unfortunately, not. No. So this is the second book that I did. If I turn the camera around, you'll see I've got a movie poster for a movie called The Doomsday Machine. So
and is that an homage of it or something?
It's similar vein.
Because I've seen like 50s movies, or I think it was 50s, where they have that kind of girl. Wait, I gotta do the thing. Like that.
Oh yeah. That's where I got it from. Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's about 3 astronauts that land on a planet, and it's inhabited with women, and they think,
it's like heaven, right?
It's heaven, and then it quickly turns to no, we want to get married, and there's only 3 guys and a whole world of women that want to get married, so they have to get on the planet pretty quick.
Are they allowed to marry multiple women, or?
They don't stick around long enough to find out.
It sort of reminds me of I'm not sure if you know who Dolores Wishborn is.
I haven't heard of her, no.
She would do like these like this is like kind of a funny story, but she would do these kind of movies where she would go to like a nudist colony and
Okay.
like
Yeah.
film these kind of like campy kind of movies where she'd get the nudist. And so she did this one where it's like something on the moon, and
Okay.
she had all these nudists wearing like little like those like antenna things with like on their heads, and so that they pretend to be aliens, and that these astronauts landed, and there's all these beautiful women. It's just such a campy movie. It's worth watching just for the campiness and naked girls. Um,
It's right up my alley. So,
yeah,
um,
just remind me of that. That's all.
so I've got two more books to show.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, okay, two more
Yeah,
books.
two more
So
books.
I did The Return. It's a Seinfeld parody, and it's after the show ended. It's a year after the show ends when they all come back to New York and they try and reestablish their lives. So I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and I wrote down all the. I spent a lot of time researching this book and getting the tone right, because there's a particular way in which
The humor works. Yeah.
the humor works, the dialogue works. So I wanted to get every character exactly as they were on the show.
Can I ask you to open up the book, like,
Yeah,
and show
sure.
like what the like? I was just curious. Is it all illustrated? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I couldn't do it in the traditional sense of a comic book. I had to do like multiple pages were splash pages like this, where it's just a whole lot of text, because a lot of it would have just been talking heads,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that gets pretty boring pretty quick. But
Pretty fast. Yeah.
the way I've structured it, you kind of ping pong with the dialogue, and
Yeah, yeah.
you can get through it pretty quick. And yeah, I actually sent it off to someone in New York, like a TV producer, and yeah, he just said, "Oh, yeah, it's fun, it's fun." I think he thought I wanted him to kind of send it to someone and get it, a little bit further along the line.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted to show it off.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he was impressed, so I was happy that someone liked
That's
it.
cool. That's cool. What you
And
have to
then,
do is get Jerry to sign it or something like that. Like.
well, I'm just hoping I don't get sued.
Yeah, that could be bad. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
But I think
I think if you
it's
say it's a fan created thing, then you can sort of get around the legalese. I'm not sure
yeah,
how it
I
would
think
work.
there's something. Yeah, there's a little amendment at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think if I was to get like a cease and desist letter from Castle Rock, that would I'd frame it, I'd put it up on the
You
wall.
get framed on the wall. That'd be awesome.
And the last book I've got is
Oh,
The Ventura Family. So what this is I don't know how familiar you guys are in Canada, and it's also in America, with Asterix and Tintin.
so I like just yeah like I know it just because in Canada we speak French and English,
Yep.
and so some of the books that we practice reading on would be Asterix.
Ah, okay.
So but Tintin as well. Tintin's in English, but yeah, but we practice reading like these Asterix books. So I actually liked Asterix a lot. I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, when I was like 10 years old, being Dutch, my dad had all the old Asterix, and he passed them on to me, and because we had nothing else, that was our form of entertainment for a long while. So yeah, this is my kind of homage to that genre, and it's about a family that live in the clouds, and they defend the Earth from aliens. So
Okay, but it kind of reminds me of, strangely, of Lost in Space a little bit.
yes, that's I wanted to go with that as well. So it's a mixture of like just the format of Asterix, where it's a big thick book, all coloured.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon
Okay.
homage.
Would it be kind of like Jetsons a little bit, or?
Yes, yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, but
Okay.
maybe a little bit more action packed than you get from the Jetsons.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Actually, there was an issue that I wanted to show you, but I didn't know what you think of it. It was from DC. It was the Flintstones and the Jetsons. They did a series that went for like 9
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, yeah. I remember them having the crossover in the cartoon.
Yeah,
That was actually kind of cool.
that was cool. Yeah.
There's the scene that I remember is they go to a restaurant and they all get like a little pill.
Yep.
And so Fred, he's like, oh, it's just like a little pill. But then he eats like 2 of them and he's like all full. I don't know. I just thought that was great.
Yeah. There was this issue that I had, and it had Mr. Spacely on the cover as a baby. So he took he got hit with a ray that was a de-aging ray, and through the issue he was running around the book, and he just had his little butt running across the pages.
Oh, that's cool.
I just got a chuckle.
Yeah, no, I'm a big you can tell, like I grew up, like my parenting was very much TV orientated. So I watched all those shows, and I'm a big Jetsons / Flintstones fan. So I love those.
So that's it for now.
Okay. So what were you going to say?
I was going to say I've toyed with the idea about doing a YouTube channel. Where it's similar to you, just showing the books that I've been reading or I want to show off. And that's why I think I've asked you a few questions about how you do it, because I've been fascinated.
Yeah, like you can see like the skill and the level of sophistication that I do in recording and making my videos. It's pretty raw. All I do is I use an iPhone. That's really it. But it works.
No, it does. It works well. And what struck me about your channel was just the background. I saw the background and I was like, wow, I've got to see at least what this guy's talking about, because it seems like we're on the same wavelength. And pretty quickly, I was like, okay, subscribe and
cool.
notify. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get. I'm so close. I think by the time this airs, I'll have my 2,000 subscribers. So that's
awesome.
my big thing. I'm trying to get to that influencer level so that I can get acetate covers, and that's really my goal in life. I want to cut in the line, be a total jerk, and get an acetate cover.
Well, I could put a couple of acetate covers on my books.
So, yeah.
Oh boy. Oh man.
So,
yeah.
This is why I get in trouble all the time. Okay, so so what are you like? What are you hunting for? What's your big book that you're searching after right now?
Good question. So I would love to get every single issue of Daredevil.
Wow.
So I started reading Daredevil in the 90s, and I've got every single issue, and I still collect Daredevil. And I've got maybe 100 left to go.
Oh, nice.
So
do you have number 1?
No, unfortunately not. I've got number 5. I think it was the first appearance of Stiltman.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
My brother got it for me because I was the best man at his wedding, and I should have shown that off. It's
that's a cool book. That's a cool book. I just picked up. I think it's issue number 4, the first Purple Man.
I saw that the other day, and a little bit out of my price range at the moment.
It wasn't too bad. I paid $200 for it.
Oh, over here it's double that.
Oh, okay. So I was like, it was in like a 3-4 grade. I think somewhere in there. Like it was.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Reasonable. Yeah.
But I've also been big on anthology series.
Okay.
So like Ghostly Tales, Ghost, just anything from DC. DC in the 70s would have a whole lot of horror anthology stuff. Yeah, and I just love
that stuff. Strangely enough, I bought it for I bought like a short box of DC horror for $10. Like nobody back going back 30 years, that stuff was dollar bin books, all of it. Or even like people would be less than dollar bin. It'd be like that 10-cent bin, where they just didn't really value it much. But now it's super hot.
Yeah, well, what I like about it is that you get at least 3 stories, and
Yep.
usually the lead story is like the best, and then the
Yep.
last 2 are kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, but like at least you get some enjoyment out of it. But then sometimes it's just even the cover, like that one I showed you with the girl
Yeah.
in the water.
I really like that. That's gonna be in a future unboxing. So
Lovely. But yeah, so that's also what I'm tracking down.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's currently what I'm hunting.
So in terms of your okay, so future channel with YouTube and Instagram, what are your plans?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. Just putting stuff up on Instagram. It's Hannibal King 2099.
Okay.
Big Hannibal King fan.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And that'll be linked in the description for people to go check him out. So
perfect. I'm also a part of a group here in Melbourne, here in Australia, called the Grail Hunters,
okay.
and it's just a whole lot of guys that they actively go out and they hunt for the key issues, the gold,
Mhm.
anything, and yeah, we just show it off, and but they also do the conventions,
Okay.
and they'll get up on stage and they'll talk about the art of hunting down books, and
Oh, nice.
yeah,
That's
it's a,
something I think you should record. And that would be a good YouTube channel right there.
what the guys up on stage.
Yeah, the guys up on stage, or you guys just hunting, like doing the actual hunting thing, like the dumpster, not dumpster diving, but
The
the dollar bin diving.
the dollar bin diving, yeah,
Yeah,
that would be fun.
yeah. I think people would enjoy that.
Yeah, but yeah, so my brother and I were also doing the conventions just around Australia at the moment. Just selling off our books and meeting fans and signing books, and
That's
um,
cool.
it's become a bit of a catch-22 though, because you go to these conventions to sell the books to make a little bit of money, but then
Mhm.
you go to the vendors and you go, oh yeah, I'll get that, and I'll get that, and I'll get that, and
So
then
you
so you
spend all the money that you make.
within a minute,
Yeah.
but you have
Oh,
these
that's cool.
books, and you're like, this
Yeah.
is what I wanted anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh well.
but yeah,
So
that's my
thanks.
story.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on the show. I hope people made it this far because we were talking for like 52 minutes, so that's pretty long.
I hope, yeah, I hope
But
they
it was
got
good.
a kick out
It
of
was
it.
interesting talking to you, and you know, maybe we'll have to do this again sometime.
Yeah, I'll track some more stuff down, and if you want me to show it off, I'll be happy
Yeah.
to come back, because yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. So check out the links in the description, everyone, and bye for now.
Bye.